Hey guys, welcome back. We just have like I guess a general video today. Update on the Bonneville from the last video where we replaced the limb gaskets. We have a new addition to the channel. Awesome tool. We actually bought a welder. So this is, don't get me wrong, it's Chinese. It's Amoco Power.
Chinesium to be exact.
Yeah, it's Chinese to the max, but it is a multi-purpose welder. It does MIG, TIG, and stick. It is also AC/DC, so we can weld aluminum with it. I've been testing it out right now only on 120 volt, or sorry, 120 volt with an adapter and my flux core, but it is Blue Devil flux core, which is pretty good.
We don't talk about that.
That one's old. We
don't talk about that.
So, just to kind of put in perspective, I was just messing with settings. This first one was pretty good, but then it fell flat. And the second one, I was moving too fast, and I think it was too far away. Same deal with this one. I did get pretty close on this one, and I think that one's really good. I don't know why it gets flat at the end. Or no, yeah, it gets flat at the end. This one, I went a little bit faster, but I still think it was pretty good distance with the gun. You know, like, you have to be pretty close with it. You can't have it too far out or it'll be too cold and it'll end up like this. This one I think was my best one. And you kind of see holes here. I think that was, I don't know what it is. I think it's either there was already BBs on the steel where I welded over, and that's where it went, or just something about how once you start it, burns it a little bit. I'm not sure. It's probably some more finagling, and you guys probably know better than us. This is not instructional in any way. We're new to welding. We're teaching ourselves.
Yeah, we're completely new to welding. Davis has watched a few videos, so he's basically just tried out what he's seen, and I'm gonna watch some videos too. But we just actually got home from getting some more supplies. We got some like acetone to clean the surface.
We got some of these magnetic triangles for making sure things are upright.
Yeah, we got some gas. We got a steel plate over there.
This thing's really cool. We're gonna maybe even make this into our bench. Maybe cut off a little bit for just some testing or welding on it. But this thing's really substantial. It's 1/8 inch, and well, I guess I can get a caliper on here to measure the actual distance. But just mild steel plate, pretty big. Better than that thing I have over there for a test bench or just even a welding bench.
And we were very surprised at how cheap that was, and that's the reason we bought it. We didn't realize what the price was, and it was a $1 per pound. And I picked it up, and I was like, oh, that's at least 30-40 pounds at least. And then nope, it was 22 pounds, 22 bucks. Yep. So we're like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna definitely get
this for 22 bucks. That's actually pretty baller.
Yeah.
And these were this is stainless steel, just with the flux core and 120 volt. The first weld I did right here, I feel like was really good. I got good heat penetration, and I was able to get it pretty uniform. This is the last one I did. Same story. It looks really good, I think. This one, I started here, and then it burnt through. You can actually see if we can tilt it up a little bit. You can see that little mark. That's where it burnt through. So I did again right here. This weld is pretty good, and then I had to kind of fill it because it was a hole through it. This one, I feel like I went a bit too fast, and my distance might not have been so great. I missed a couple spots, so I re-welded right there and there. But overall, I can weld stainless, and then I had this really shitty O2 bung, and you can actually see it's not on there. It's at an angle down like that. This one's shitty because you kind of want these O2 bungs to be ovalized so they sit flush on there. I had a hard time getting on there, so this side was way up high, so I had to fill up like total air gap. This side wasn't so bad. Hopefully this is focusing for you guys, but this side wasn't so bad. Definitely could use improvement. I learned some newer techniques since doing that one. So, I mean, it can weld stainless steel. It's welding mild steel. We haven't tested aluminum yet, but has the capability, and has 240 volt and 120 volt.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the TIG gun, right? TIG?
Yeah, this is the TIG torch.
Yep, we got the torch set up. We don't have the gas regulator that we need for that.
Ran out of budget for that.
Yeah, we ran out of budget, so please subscribe.
The freaking gas regulators are like 150 bucks at the store.
Yeah, so
we went to Park Rose, and they had one for $102, but it's still like, with how much we had spent on this gas, and then particularly not the gas, the canister.
Yeah, just
expensive.
a 55 gallon.
or 55 CFM or whatever it was.
Is it 55 CFM or is it gallon? I don't really know.
I don't remember.
But just this one, just
they had
the
like a
tank
55
costed,
and then they had an 80. The
Yep.
80 is like the typical one that you see. It's like double the size.
Yeah, this one was $170 just by itself. $35 for gas, which is not bad at all. But yeah, just that. Then a few other things. We're like, ooh, this is very expensive. Okay, we're gonna buy the regulator separate. And same with the helmet. I want to buy the same helmet that Davis has. And,
here it is.
and we found out that that's super cheap.
Yeah,
And
this
so I
is,
almost bought a really
cheap
horrible
deco. It's auto darkening, so that is really useful for watching what you're welding, or being able to see
Looks
before
like
you
it's
start welding.
adjustable on the side too.
That is for tightness, I believe.
Oh,
Or no,
okay.
no, that's the. You're right. That is the brightness setting.
Oh, cool. That is adjustable. That's nice. And we looked on Amazon, and it's actually only $25. And I almost bought like a shitty helmet for $60 at that same
No
store.
auto darkening, yeah.
So I was like, nah. And so we don't have everything we need, but we have everything we need for the wire feed.
Yeah,
and
we
it
can.
works perfectly
well,
fine.
we don't have the regulator for gas and stuff, so we're still using flux core wire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gasless. Well, I mean, gas is in here. It's using flux in place of gas. It works, I mean, pretty good. I mean, like I said, we were able to weld stainless and this mild steel just fine.
Yeah, and then when Davis welded these two plates together and then tried
Yeah.
to bend them together, the whole piece bent before the weld deformed
I
it
made
anyway.
a-
So honestly, structurally integral.
Took this, so this is really bad. This were my very first welds on this steel because I needed to figure out the thickness. These ones obviously terrible, a lot wrong with it. It was too far away, that's why it cooled off. No penetration in there at all. These ones got a little bit better, but still not great. I was just messing with the voltage. Once I figured it out, I welded this, and the inside weld is actually way better than the outside one. You can kind of see how crappy that is. But still, the inside weld was good, had good penetration, and I went ahead and bent it in the vise, and it bent the metal before it bent the weld at all, so, or broke the weld. Yeah, so we got blue tungsten for the TIG. We have some of these magnetic triangles, which are really awesome. Acetone, and then we have some filler rod. We're not so certain of the filler rod, but the guy at the store said the ER70S2 is pretty good for steel. So that's what we'd be doing first. We have a list on Amazon cart for other filler rods and other parts and whatnot that we'll need to complete it.
Yeah,
But,
but that
yeah.
will come. That will come in time. We're probably gonna order everything we can, like now, so that we can have it for next weekend. Though we don't necessarily need it for next weekend. We just kind of want to play with it.
Yeah, we're
That's kinda what it
learning.
is.
And yeah, this is also kind of on topic, off topic. These are going to be the elbows we're going to use for Project F's turbo down pipe. So maybe we can just go show them right now.
Yeah, we'll cut away. We'll cut away to that. The only thing that we just don't have a few pieces like the T4 to T3 adapter, and then
as well as the
4-bolt for the turbo exhaust to go into one of these.
Yeah.
We just don't have those two, but pretty much we will get a perfect idea, pretty much, of how this will fit. Just these three pipes. And what we're gonna need to change to make it fit, or if we don't need to change anything.
Yep.
But we'll cut away to that in a second.
We have some aluminum strip here that we can test on.
Yeah,
and as well, don't judge me guys, but this was the drive shaft spacer I had on the Mustang. So I mean that's aluminum. We can test welding on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's worthless?
I'm never gonna use this.
Yeah. Can't sell it, nothing.
Oh, no,
weren't
no
they
way.
expensive?
It was $70.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we can test all that too.
We can test on your drive shaft. That's aluminum.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Add some extra weight, some vibrations.
Oh, perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But so we're just gonna clean a little bit extra in here.
Obviously, it's
And then,
horribly dirty in here. We should move these boxes back into
definitely.
the swaggin.
And then we can get the
We
turbo up and
yeah.
kind of like see how it's gonna fit.
Please leave some comments, any tips, recommendations, videos, links to what we can, view and learn more, because we are totally blind to this. Like,
Yeah, we don't.
this welder is actually holding up a lot of the work. It makes it like super easy. I mean,
Yeah.
that looks really good. This one's pretty good too.
Going to a welding store and not really knowing what you need.
That was kind of,
it's kind of embarrassing.
Embarrassing, yeah.
But everyone's got to start a hobby somehow. You're not gonna know everything. So
Well, the guy at the register also wasn't. He was a truck driver.
yeah, he
was just manning
wasn't.
the
Yeah,
store.
he wasn't actually.
So we didn't get that judged.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Another good thing about this is on the side of this, it gives you recommendations on what material you're using, what kind of wire you're using, the wire diameter, and then the settings for voltage and wire speed.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then like with this, you use Algron.
Algron. Also, this information is intended to act as a guide. It's very Chinesium. But it works.
You know, but this is a huge step up to that Chinesium.
This one is literal Chinesium, the worst thing. The wire that comes out of this, like, it'll arc without you pressing the trigger. Yeah,
even the feed system is much simpler than that one.
That's made of metal and everything. This one is all plastic.
Not good. Not good.
So we're going to go ahead and clean up the garage, and we're going to probably come back with Project F's downpipe, just looking at that, and then we're probably going to transition to doing some welding. All right, guys, we did some cleaning. We cleaned up the bench, and then we kind of just swept up our walking area. I mean, still, dirty, not perfect, but dang, look at this piece of metal that we bought. It, like, was meant to be, so we got it clamped down.
Yeah, and we shouldn't cut that thing up at all.
Oh, no, I know. It's, like, perfect. So we clamped it down. Literally, we could also drill it and put frickin' like, lags through, so it's bolted down. Or maybe nuts and bolts. That'd be better, so we can take it on and off. We're going to go ahead and clean up this piece of metal with this grinding disc that we have lying around. Just clean it up. And so we'll have another piece of metal we can test welding on and clean it up. Got the acetone, we'll just clean the whole surface down. But first off, we're going to go see about getting this.
Pipes.
Oh, does it have the bolt?
No.
We should get the bolts in there.
Yeah, we should get the bolts in, but...
Alright, yeah guys, so it'll be more centered here, but our idea is the first tight 90 off. And that's still pretty good because where the intake's going to be right here, so still coming close, but not terrible. Imagine half an inch more off like that, yeah. And then that right there, and then that, yeah, that puts us perfect where we need to go. Here, maybe I can grab some duct tape.
Yeah, grab the duct tape. Ugh. Goddamn.
Get some tape on this shit. Some 3M masking tape. No, don't get wet.
Well, no, yeah, it is getting wet, so probably go back in there.
Look at that, we got a bench to weld it on. Yeah, just like that. All right, guys.
So just like
that, yep. So turbo go in, down, and then past the K-member, or through the K-member.
See, why do we even need to weld this?
Yeah, duct tape.
Why did we even buy a welder?
I don't freaking know, dude. Okay, this needs to be a bit angled. Or down a bit more. But, that gives you guys the idea. And then that would give us enough room off this
pretty good,
if we were to do the
honestly.
blow-off valve, yeah. Because you're going to have about a half-inch off, and there's going to be some finagling we need to do. I think we need to rotate this out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You probably had it where it needed to go.
Honestly, this needs to rotate just a little bit down.
Yeah. But, that's all in the details. Literally, we'll get it lined up with it and then Sharpie it.
That actually will look pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. And then I'll go into a stock style exhaust.
Yeah, this definitely needs to be angled down just a little bit, a few degrees.
And this needs to be angled this way.
Yeah.
It needs to rotate.
And then almost like a straight bend.
Yep. It goes straight down.
Right above the engine mount, I think, is where we'll go through.
Yeah, guys, well, look at that.
It actually looks really good. That'll be pretty decent.
I'm glad you got that stuff. Honestly, guys, this is 304 stainless, so it's pretty decent stainless steel, and just 3 of these mandrel bends is like almost as much as a full like 409 stainless set.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know it was 409 stainless, but
I think it's like 120 or 130 bucks after shipping.
But this will be really nice downpipe that, will have the 4-bolt, and then hopefully we get a V-band on this side, and on that side, go to the turbo back, or the cat back, whatever you'd want to call it. Obviously, there's no catalytic converter on this thing. That's actually really exciting to see. Tristan did
some progress.
Also, the turbo's going to sit up probably like half an inch, 3/4 of an inch with that adapter. That got stolen. Tristan bought it, and
hang on. I think the bolt that the nut was. Oh, don't trip and die. probably want to save on this.
Oh, true. So we fab it up.
But yeah, I either got stolen or didn't get delivered correctly to my house,
Yep.
the T4 to T3 adapter. So we'll be getting a different one. But that would have been cool to have it on the car, right? Like just now.
True.
Oh well.
So I think we're gonna clean up that, and then we're just gonna do some practice welds with the MIG, with the flux core.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of this.
That's actually really badass.
I'll take a picture of it going this way.
We
and
might,
take a
I would
picture of it
say,
going the other way.
might need a bit more length on this side, but that otherwise it's like really
Oh, what
close.
the hell? I'm on the pro version.
Whoa,
How do I? Oh, okay.
boomer. I think we're gonna, like I said, clean up this piece of metal here, and we'll use this to test on. We don't want to be testing on our bench. This piece of, I mean, it was only $22, but I feel like this was like a steal. This is pretty awesome.
Deal. I don't think we're gonna get another deal like that again. So
Unless we just don't know how much metal costs. But this is 1/8 inch and like pretty badass for a work table.
yeah, I think it's pretty nice.
Another thing, guys, this welder that we got is it's not a high frequency TIG. It is a lift TIG. Here, if you want to hold this, just the reel. So basically how this works, has a manual gas regulator, or at least you just turn it on that way, open the valve, and then it's flowing gas. But you can see the tip there. Most high frequency ones have a button, so once you're over the steel, you just click it and it'll ignite, and it atomizes the air or oxygenate, whatever the fuck it does. It causes an arc. But with this, you basically tip it down, the cup to the metal, touch the metal, and then you lift up, and that will create the arc. And then with that, and then filler rod and however, and then to disengage the arc, or turn it off, basically, there's no off no off button. You don't just let off. You don't just take away, because that can make pinholes in it. What you do is kind of similar. Don't touch the metal, but angle it and then take it away, and that will prevent holes from getting punched in the metal once you're done.
That's interesting.
Yep. Unfortunately, I can't show you this to you guys today because we don't got the regulator. So, I mean, we could just put it straight to the gas right there, and
You almost said garden hose, didn't you?
I
Put it
know what
right
I was
up
about
to the
say.
garden hose.
Turn that tap on. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and clean it up, and we'll be back.
Oh
Wait.
no! Oh, that. Oh no, our workbench was all clean. Now it's gonna get dirty.
Oh no. Yeah.
You think we're good now?
Yeah. Let's move this flammable paper out of the way.
Yeah, anything else flammable?
With
Fire extinguisher.
Well, we got
Not
this for
flammable,
safety.
but probably sparks on that is not great. Anything else?
I mean, there's just some rags, it looks like. That's fine, though.
Alright.
To get some earplugs.
What?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, guys, you might want to PPE up, get gloves, cover your wrists, put some earplugs in. Especially me. This is really loud just being right next to it.
It is pretty loud.
Like,
God damn. My plan was to get those welds off, but it takes so long.
see, they're good welds.
They are.
I mean,
and
those two aren't, but that
God
one.
damn, I felt like it was gonna light on fire with all those sparks hitting me.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to continue with this. I mean, you guys see we're cleaning up, and then we're going to start practicing
Well, I
some
wonder if it's
welds. Yeah, it's actually... All right, guys, we got this surface all grinded down. It is now acetoned and cleaned. So Tristan's going to start with this. So first off, the tip length, people say 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch. About like that is pretty much good. What I'm going to suggest Tristan do first is just weld a line like this. We'll do just one line. So what you want to do is you always want to drag where you're going. So if we're doing a line like that, you don't want to be sideways because the wire will push it. You also don't want to push it this way. Always want to drag it. And we'll probably also heat up the metal just to kind of prep it.
So do you go just straight, or do you like do a little bit like a C or
basically
anything?
what you want to do is let it drag. You really don't even have to do much of that. What you could do is you could push back a little bit.
Okay.
just nudge it a little bit, and that's what gives the ripples. Also, to further prep it.
So you want to be at like an angle like this?
I'd probably do like a 45, like say it's like this. I do it like that. You also don't want the tip, the copper tip, or whatever this is, what metal this is.
Right, you don't want that arcing onto the metal.
You don't, yeah, you might weld the torch to it.
So you would want like a 45 like this.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then drag it. And to further prep it, we will heat up the metal.
Right,
That's good.
Keep it plugged in?
You just gotta turn on the switch on the back. And then what this does is it pulls the moisture out of the metal. You actually see the moisture.
I do.
So once it stops doing that, you know you're good. And then it's on right now, right?
Yep.
So this isn't set to where we want it. I believe this was set for stainless. For this, we're gonna want 16.7, I believe it was. We'll just use it on 16.5. And the wire speed was also fine. And then if you're looking at this, this is different settings for the TIG gun. So T2, or yeah, 2T means you pull the trigger, it's gonna come out and it's gonna arc. You let off the trigger, it's gonna stop. 4T means you'll press the trigger, it'll just constantly feed and arc, and you have to click it again to stop it.
Interesting.
So we'll keep it like this because that's simpler.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this should be all ready to go. Don't start just yet. So that's all heated. Yeah, I would just do that first and do kind of like as much as you want. Also, it's really important to keep the tip close to the metal as you can without arcing the outside tip, obviously. And if you're pulling it out too far, you'll see long strands and the wire will cool down at the top side. So it'll make it really raised up. I showed you in those examples. So it sounds like you're getting a bit too far away.
I could have been.
Oh, it actually looks pretty good.
What I was doing is I was doing just a little bit of up and down while pulling away.
It actually looks pretty good. You see there's a little pinhole.
Pinhole, yeah. So does that mean like it got too hot right there?
So the splatter usually means that the voltage might not be right. We actually might need to turn it back up.
Okay.
And that pinhole, it could have just been some dirtiness on the metal or something.
Okay, let's try putting the voltage up just a little bit then.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is good. 16.7?
Yeah, I think that distance you had was good. We just need to turn up the voltage.
Okay.
I would just, that speed was good. You might even want to go just a little bit faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised at how fast it's usually good to weld at. You have to do it a little bit faster.
Okay.
That sounds pretty good.
I noticed that smoke is going right into the mask, so that's
Really?
not great because I'm having to stand over it.
Yeah.
That one's not terrible. You can see where I was like sitting and then I kind of went quicker. I think that's what that drop down is then like when I went to stop, I just stopped instead of just like...
What I'm hearing too, at the beginning, it was like splattering, splattering, splattering. You want like a consistent like
Okay.
noise, buzz, I guess. It was like... Here, let me grab something here real fast. Your first weld was actually really good. I mean, to me, it looks like it was a bit raised up, and that's where the voltage comes through. It needs to be a bit more down, but I mean, that looked pretty good. Here, let me set this up.
Let me try try a few more times.
How about you try going straight down like this?
Okay, I can do that.
It might be easier.
All right. See, now that's just so much easier to see what I'm doing it downwards like that.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It's like I can see
totally
exactly the pull.
agree.
And let's wire wheel it real quick.
Yeah. I agree. Working towards yourself is really good because you're working sideways, you're dragging it, so the welds, that's the
It's so
proper way to do
bright,
it.
I couldn't see it like that before, but I could see it puddle.
And you can adjust the dimming of that too if you
Okay.
need more dimming. This one actually looks pretty good. I think if
that one's not horrible.
you got good penetration, you can see it's like the amount of heat off of it.
Okay.
And that's pretty good. It looks kind of like the others in that regard, but it looks pretty good. You could go, longer even. Flip the breaker.
Yeah, and it also welded the wire to the steel. I think it was coming out just a little quickly for me, because I'm not used to it.
And that distance actually looks really good too.
Because
it wasn't a distance thing.
I was kind of fighting the distance, but I think it was just coming out a little fast because I ended up going too far and it was stuck, so I was like, ooh.
Kind of lost it a little bit.
And that happens.
This is how you do it right here on this breaker we have.
On the top, gotcha.
Yep. I've noticed if sometimes if you get too close or you get too far back, I don't know what happens. It just flips the breaker.
It sounds like it was kind of like spattering, spraying because I was like at distance maybe. I'm not sure.
Wow, that looks really good.
Awesome.
Damn, that looks awesome, bro. Good job. I hope this comes out well on camera.
Honestly, this welder makes it pretty easy.
It does. Like I said, this is literally just flux core. No gas. I mean, it's a gasless or whatever, it flux in it, but imagine what gas hooked up and, actual reel and stuff would do.
Yeah, I mean, with that welder...
Maybe less splatter. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of pellets everywhere. Just do that a little bit. Maybe get a grinder and...
Yeah, let's...
That's really good.
Let me do it again and go a little bit longer.
Here, do you want me?
That was the plan. Can you turn the wire speed down a little bit?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Set the camera up and we'll try it again.
Hopefully this comes out well on camera.
Who knows? I'm kind of curious on what it looks like for them.
Oh, yeah, flipped again.
And I melted the freaking wire to the piece again.
Yeah. Pop that off. That's not good for a pre-weld.
Nope, and it don't look pretty either.
Yeah, unfortunately we're using the 120 volt and we're off that. We can try putting it on the actual outlet, but I feel like it's just going to pop the breaker in the house. I think we need to use the 240 volt. Yeah, don't breathe that in. That's probably not good.
Don't breathe that.
Honestly, that looks pretty good. A little spot right there where I think the wire speed was a bit down maybe. Or something. Or maybe that's where you can see the very bottom part.
Yeah, I think that might have been... No, right really next to it. Right next to it is where that little dot, I think, is where it's stuck. Mm-hmm. And right next to it is a hole. See, it's not completely uniform with it. See, it was a bit globbier there, and then... I think that has to do with wire speed or the speed at which you were moving. Yeah, I think I wasn't very good with that one. I was kind of going slower than I think I should have, so I went slow, or I went fast and then slowed down. Mm-hmm. So definitely it's not even because of me too, the inexperience. But
honestly, all these welds look so much usable, guys. 100%. If you have recommendations, here. Guys, if you straight up, if you have recommendations or tips or videos you recommend we watch, gladly post them in the comments because we're trying to learn. I think this is pretty good, and honestly, this welder is making it easy. I think it is making it pretty easy because, I've only welded a couple times little lines like that on something else, the other plate we had, and it was just worthless, Mm-hmm. But I'm quite surprised. I do definitely want to. Have two pieces of metal to weld together.
One here, yeah, to weld together because that's a little bit different than just lines.
But we could actually clean up this strip here, regrind this, grind off all this crap, and then cut it, and then you can do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
One thing about this, I guess if this is a welder review, this is the Amoco MTS 165. A lot of people were complaining about the feeding of the gun, but clearly it feeds perfectly fine. It just takes some troubleshooting, I guess.
You adjusted several different things to get it to do it right. So,
yeah, I did.
Maybe they didn't know that.
Plus, I'm using some good wire. Maybe they're using the wire that came with it.
Yeah, because like any kind of Chinese like 3D printer, for example, you never want to use it with the filament, that they
yep.
give because it's shit.
Yep.
So I mean, I would think the same thing for that wire.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably are using the wire. Oh, I need to be plugged in.
True. Yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and grind this down so we can use it real fast, and maybe grind an angle, maybe even use one of these triangles, and then
yeah, that'd be cool.
And then from there, probably end it off, because this is basically what we just wanted to do today. Clean up the garage, show you guys our new welder, and yeah.
I'm just waiting on you.
All right, we'll be back.
Nice.
Yep, so that's the side that I cut. Obviously has burrs on it, so we'll file it down. And that way we can weld it to the other piece.
I really like this welding helmet for grinding because you know, when I was grinding, I was just getting peppered with all the sparks, and I really like it. It's actually got a grind setting so that the
I didn't know that. That's actually really cool.
yeah, so it's actually the dimmest setting of like the automatic dimmer, the least sensitive option, so it never goes dark for grinding is really useful.
Here, looks like, there we go. Just like that. And then we'll just have these two sides meet at the joint that we're going to create. Kind of like that. Tack these together, and then once it's tacked together, we can...
Hell yeah, I definitely want to try this. This is going to be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and these cuts are pretty good, and this is all angled, right?
Is it good enough?
Yeah, and then this is on, but whatever. So yeah, just, I would probably... This is another thing I haven't learned or read about. If you're welding on an axis like this, you definitely would pull up or drag up. I doubt you would push down.
Yeah, that would be pretty hard because you're fighting gravity.
Yep.
Or you're not fighting gravity, but you're kind of going the opposite of what I'd imagine you're supposed to.
Yep.
All right, that's a little tack.
Let me see.
That looks pretty good. Could be better, but you know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. There's a little hole in there.
And then I'll weld the sides of it, the bottom, and then I'll go up that. Well, I saw a pinhole form.
Oh yeah. Here, let me see.
That's not great.
Oh yeah, that's not good at all. Yeah, guys, it kind of went all splattery right there. Got a little bit, and then
I noticed that and just stopped.
Yeah, here, let me see.
Oh, actually, like, with that gone, I mean, it doesn't actually look all horrible.
Yeah, once you clean it,
you can clean
it. The focusing's not great, but it looks pretty good, but then there's, like, a little bit of splatter.
Yeah. Let me tack the other side real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's a bit globby. Well,
yeah,
no,
it's a bit globby. I stayed on it for a second.
Decent tack. I mean, that's fine though. I mean, yeah, it just looks like you were staying on it for a little bit too long. I would, at this point, now that it's tacked, just travel the entirety of it.
Okay. Well, let's try it. Okay. I noticed the wire feed was going faster than I was right there, so that was probably a me problem. I didn't get it very good on the bottom.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you really gapped it at all.
Yeah, I didn't.
You just got on the side.
I need to reform on the bottom and then come up where that gap is right there between the tack and that. Alright. See how I do. Let's clean it off.
Looks a little bit better. I think your distance. Yeah, I think it looks fine. I think it's just
see the gap between like the plate and the weld.
Yeah, I think it needs to be closer down. You also want to kind of like melt the top and dip it down.
Oh.
So I mean, yeah, you're using it. That's how I've been doing it, just like kind of tearing it down a little bit, or you can do it a little bit upwards. But
maybe I should do that. Maybe I should try like going down and then up to try and make it go up.
possibly.
But pulling it down could possibly work too.
Okay.
So I noticed that it was
that's not
going
bad.
kind of like going off and on, but
Yeah.
what I did is I started from the base and I pulled it up.
And you got really good heat into that too. Check the other side. No, the other side. See how much heat you got in there?
Oh yeah,
See, it's blue.
that looks really good.
That does look good. I really hope it's focusing on where I'm pointing this because it looks blurry on the screen, but it is actually really good.
Damn, that looks ugly.
Oh shit.
Oh no, I blew a
You
hole
blew
in
a
it.
hole in it. Yeah, because this stuff is, I don't know, it's the same thickness, but yep, you see daylight through that thing.
Yeah, I must have stayed on it too long. I was trying to like go up as much as I could while trying to like do this to try and get it to stay up instead of melt and fall down. So maybe starting from the top and going down is actually the way to do it.
Maybe.
Ergonomically, that wouldn't seem like a
Guys,
good
let
way
us
to do it.
know because we don't know.
Yeah, let us know.
Here, let me unclose the garage door just a little bit. We don't want to cut off all the airflow, but we want more light in here. Here we go.
I think I could maybe fill that gap in, but like
can.
I think the top is kind of fucked.
You can. It's kind of messed up. I think that was your best weld right
Yeah,
there.
I think so too.
You got
That
really
looks
good
pretty
heat penetration on there.
The way you can look, the way like I stopped it at the top, you could see like this little piece of wire.
It
Because what I ended up doing is like I ended up touching it like right from here, and then it just melted the wire, and then the rest of it stayed on. So I basically
that's
like
a-
touched the top with like that.
Yeah. Oh, I see. You taught. Yeah.
Yeah, after I was done, I touched the top with that instead of the tip,
see.
and it, yeah. So I mean that's better, but it's still ugly. So definitely welding two pieces of metal together or three like this, definitely harder than just doing it on the table.
Well, yeah. That's just to. I would say this is good for setting welds or setting settings on your welder and kind of just getting a good idea.
Do you wanna
It'll
cut
take
off
more.
a plate and try welding like another one on?
Yeah. You know what? Here,
That's
let me tack this up real fast.
Yeah, here.
Okay. You can come check. Let me clean this up. So I did 2 tacks.
Well, that tack looks pretty good. The top one especially. The bottom one's got like a little
Yeah,
gap
gap.
in between it, but you
Yeah,
would
sure.
definitely, obviously fix that when you go to. Yeah.
And you can see that weld right there. I think that looks
Oh,
pretty
you
good.
did a weld on there.
Yeah.
Ooh. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I got a little light right... Ooh, touched it. I got a little light right there, but...
It looks like the heat was really good on that one.
Yeah, you can see... I don't want to get the... You can see where it's discolored. It's where the heat penetrated, so...
Yeah.
That did pretty good.
That did do pretty good. I think I got metal in my hoodie. That's fine.
All right, guys, I'm going to change out the GoPro battery because it's about to die. We've been recording for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's at 5% right now.
Yeah. All right, guys, well, this battery also has 10%, so...
A little, hey, double.
Yeah, we don't got a lot of time on this, but I went ahead and did this corner, and I had the actual same issue. I started from the bottom, went up, and it blew through. I did go back, and I started from the top, went down, and it actually pooled it and really filled it pretty decently, so it kind of saved it. And then I continued with this weld right here. So I hope it comes well on camera, but I did make a mistake when I was welding. Like I said, I wasn't practicing what I was preaching, so I was going like this, down, and then halfway through I realized, and then I changed my grip like this and I started dragging this way, and I mean, it still looked really good where I did that. You can see where I changed, and then right there I was kind of pushing it a little bit as I dragged it, and I think the weld came out really well. It's a good unit.
It's pretty freaking good. Like, we're not trained at all. We've just watched a few videos that Davis has. I haven't. I've just been...
Honestly, for years too, I mean, like, These were Tristan's. You can see on the GoPro, or sorry, the...
Oh, I touched that. That's not great.
Oh,
Here, you can just turn that off. I'm gonna bend this just a little bit so it hangs on a little bit.
Yeah, I tried that. Anyways, we need to make, we can make an actual hook maybe off of this or something. Anyways, yeah, these were Tristan's. I can't remember. These were his first ones. That one, and then that one. And then these were his last ones where he was going down. And honestly, not terrible. I mean, this is his first time on this welder.
Yeah.
And no training, like you said. Not any videos really at all. And then this one was another story. You know, that one's not so great.
Yeah, not so good. It looks like boogers.
This one, though, that's pretty good. And then there's mine. Pretty good, too. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm good at all.
Yeah.
It's just, you know.
But you do have slightly more time on it than I do. So it makes sense that yours are a little bit better. But this is just so dang fun. We're going to be doing this a good amount.
Yep, you can see Project F's, well, I don't know if we're going to be welding it just yet. I don't know if our skills are going to be that good, perfected at that point.
We'll definitely, you know, do a lot more.
Might tack it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do a lot more testing. But I think that we honestly can weld this with what we got. And I think the filler rod is going to be just better for this.
Once we use the TIG welder. And
because we probably won't blow a hole through it, honestly, with that. So I think that will be the way. It probably won't look pretty. And we also need to practice on that before we do this.
Yeah, so we need to measure this. And honestly, it looks pretty close. And well, it's a bit thinner than this.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that off camera, but we can take the calipers to each one of them, and we'll obviously set the settings on the welder for that. But we definitely need to get a regulator.
Yep, for the gas, because we need the gas for it to run.
Yep.
That'll help clean up the welds, actually.
Yeah, it will. Even with this, right? It'll the welds will be
not
better.
The flux. We'll use different wire, but that gas, yes. What's that at?
0.05 inches. So I have no idea how thick that actually is.
So it's mil.
1.5 mil?
1.5 mil and a half. So this actually has, right here, if we're using flux, which we're not going to weld it with flux, right here is the settings. So that's about 1.59 volt. And then wire speed pretty low.
Oh wow, this stuff is considerably thicker.
3 inches, yep. And that's what we use, 3 inches. If you go, or 3 millimeter, down to here, we're doing 16.7 volt and then 142 wire speed. Well, we're actually doing 135. The wire speed.
It's hard to measure the side that I dented with the hammer.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't really talk about the Bonneville. I knew that we were said at the very beginning of the day we're gonna have an update with that. We haven't. So we should maybe retroactively maybe put this with that video. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'll say it right now so we have it on recording, that the Bonneville is running fine. The intercooler being separated, that doesn't seem to be a problem yet.
We talked to Ed Labarge, and he said didn't suspect to be that much of an issue.
He basically, go ahead.
Yeah, he said it would only be like a small vac leak at idle.
Unless it's worse.
Yeah, unless it's worse, which we've not identified any worseness to it.
And it could get worse. But he basically just said, buy a different intercooler, man. Because resealing them is not so easy. And they don't make that heater core. The reason he doesn't make that intercooler anymore is they don't make that heater core that he used anymore. He just gave up on it because he only sold maybe 6 a year, is I think what he said. So he's not doing that anymore. He's told me to buy a different intercooler core. Pretty much Mace from Australia or ZZP are the only one who does it. So I'm going to see how long that intercooler will last me because I do not want to buy from ZZP. Maybe I'll buy a second hand.
Yeah, that's true.
But so we're gonna leave that how it is. And with the rest of it, the block is still leaking a little bit of coolant down in from where kind of the heads meet the block, but it's such a small drip now.
Same areas, just there and there.
Yeah, it's such a small drip now where it was pretty significant before that I think I'm just going to run it, and I'm checking right now. The whole last week I've checked my oil every single day, checked my catch can every single day, and I don't see any water in the oil, so I don't think that is necessarily a problem, but I'm gonna keep checking it. But the catch can, we saw literally got so full that it sprayed condensation oil out of it.
Yeah.
But Davis had just checked it 2 weeks prior. So that means that there's kind of a problem where, like, why did it fill with so much condensation so quickly in a matter of like 2 weeks?
Or oil. A lot of it was engine oil.
Yeah, so that's not good.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any oil in it now. I've only seen condensation mixed with oil, which is normal. Not a lot of it. Seeing just some condensation not mixed with oil. And not a lot. But I can't tell because it's still pushing just a little bit of it out of the filter. And I'm not sure if that's just the stuff sitting in the filter.
Yeah, probably that.
But I noticed that. And so I'm wiping it up every time I see that so that I can identify if that's still happening. And I haven't seen it in the last 4 days, but like Tuesday I saw it, and Monday I saw it. So I'm figuring out whether like the crankcase is getting pressurized and wanting to force the oil out, because that will be disastrous if that's a thing. And so, but besides that,
and it's also a bigger problem overall.
Yeah, besides that, the car has been running perfectly fine for a week. I noticed like I think a very slight vacuum leak. Don't know if that's the intercooler or what, but it shouldn't be affecting anything besides at idle, and I can live with that. I just want the car to drive. And,
yeah, you want something reliable you can drive to work.
And honestly, I haven't been getting on it at all because the transmission is literally on its last legs. It's making so much noise right now that I'm just trying to source a new transmission as quickly as possible.
You might even want a new torque converter.
I have one, so that's actually cool. And that guy, haven't asked him. Maybe his transmission will come with a torque converter.
He said he had a 2500 stall converter in it.
That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Or you can get an S10 converter.
Oh, that's right.
S10's like 2000 stall.
That's right. So I think
2200.
I think the stock one is a 2000.
Yeah, maybe the S10's 2500.
Ooh,
I think.
So
I don't
if I
remember.
can get his torque converter, because I don't know why, unless it's like worth a lot of money, I don't know why he would like just sell it separately.
Yeah.
Than a guy trying to buy the transmission. But I'll ask him, and then if not, I have a brand new one.
Well, he said he has an S10, so maybe he can use that converter.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to ask him. And if if not, I'll just use my stock one that I have brand new that I bought from someone.
That'd be fine.
They use it for 50 miles and then took it out. I don't know why. And yeah, so definitely gonna not reuse that torque converter at all, and not because what a disaster that would be if like I replaced the transmission and that was
it's worn.
So what's really cool about that new transmission I may or may not be getting, nothing's set in stone. I've had deals, literally another transmission slip out from under my fingers for someone who sold it out from under me. Anyways, it's supposed to have is it Quaife or Quaid?
Quaife.
Quaife LSD differential, which is amazing. And so
the Mac Daddy differential for these
that is
things.
going to be huge for that build. If that is what it is.
No torque steer, no one tire fires.
So
it's torque vectoring. It's geared. It's awesome.
So look out for that, guys. That will be super cool. Like I said, nothing's set in stone, but I'm working on making that deal happen. So we will see, and that will be really cool, and we'll make a video about that.
Yep, for sure.
We'll do some two tire fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, not one. I mean, I'm pretty sure it spun both tires on that burnout we did, but now will be better.
Yeah. So.
But that's pretty much everything new about the Bonneville. There's nothing really new.
Yep.
So that's update.
They'll do it. So yeah, thanks for watching. It's really freaking awesome that we have a welder now that we can do actual work with, and it's gonna get better once we have the gas and the TIG set up. So yep, definitely leave a like, get the video out.
Definitely comment.
Helps get the video out. Yeah, definitely comment.
We love reading those.
And yeah, let us know if you have any tips for the welding.
Definitely.
And recommendation videos for us to watch, because we definitely like to learn more.
Yep, viewer interaction is my favorite part about doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I love your guys' comments, love responding to them. So let us know what you guys think, and have a good one.
Yeah, I'll see you next video.